And we're live. Welcome back to another episode of FPL Focal. It is the final deadline stream of the season. Thank you all for being here, and how is everybody? Hope you're all well. Hope you're all excited for this last round of fixtures for the season. I've lost my voice a little bit, unfortunately, at the worst possible time, but the show goes on. Of course, I can't miss a deadline stream, can't miss the last one of the season. Not feeling that great, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but absolutely the show goes on. Thank you all for being here, appreciate you all tuning into this deadline stream. Ayush, Abra, Adam, DJ, James, Matt, Quadir, Sponshi, Vijay, Wuchi. I think Aiden just snuck in, hope you're all well. Sponshi says, here we go. Ayush says, where's Matt? I'm sure Matt's on his way. Adam says, heard something about United. Not too sure if it's any good though. What did you hear, Adam? Quadar says the United lineup's been leaked. Has it? What's the leaked lineup? I've missed that. Obviously, we're less than an hour to the deadline, so we'll keep an eye out for any leaks that come in before now on the deadline. I'm sure there will be some. We've seen fairly recently quite a few leaks surfacing, over an hour and a half before a kickoff, which means we should therefore have some leaks today ahead of today's games. I think the main one a lot of people have got their eye on is the Man United Wolves fixture. Obviously, if Bruno ends up missing or not being in the starting 11, then that does open the door to the likes of Mane. If anyone sees any leaks while we're live on this stream, do let us know in the chat. I will be checking them myself as we approach this deadline. James says, now I'm Pope Baldy. I recognise the profile pic, James. Anyway, how's everyone doing? Who's your armband on for this game week? If you haven't voted on our captain poll, don't forget to do that. Captain poll is on our Discord, so we'll have a look at the results of that later on this stream. Got loads prepared for this one. I'm just hoping my voice lasts for the duration of the stream. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I'm properly on the ropes today. But we're absolutely going to stream all the way to the deadline. We may even do the stream all the way till the lineups come out. Which will be just under an hour and a half from now. So then we can digest all the lineups as they come out in a little bit. Aiden says, today's Man United lineup: Henderson, Williams, Bailly, Jones, Telles, Matic, Van der Beek, Mata, Greenwood, Elanga. Wow, where's that from, Aiden? Is that a reliable source? I mean, that's massive if that's true. I mean, maybe we should pull up any leaks as soon as they come in. So that was from, it looks like that was a leak from Mark Goldbridge. Is that a reliable source? Is he reliable? Oh, wow, he's got 300. Okay, let's get this up on screen now and let's start with that. So this was tweeted just a minute before we went live, and he said today's Man United lineup is Henderson in goal. So that's going to be Williams in right back, Bailly and Jones, Phil Jones, centre back. I didn't realise Jones was even still on FPL. The forgotten man, Phil Jones. Telles in left back. The midfield two is going to be Matic and Van der Beek. Ahmad, interesting, down the right wing. Mata. Could be Mata's final Man United game. I reckon he'll get subbed off. I suppose it's an away game, so I was going to say he gets subbed off in front of the fans, but it will be an away game anyway. Greenwood and Elanga. Very interesting lineup. So no Bruno. So, I mean, as I said at the top of the stream, that kind of locks in my transfer. I'm probably going to end up shifting Bruno on for Mane. And I'm just going to go on Mark's profile. He does have 300k followers, so it looks like that is a genuine leak from a reliable source. I wouldn't expect someone with such a following to put it all on the line like that. So we'll keep an eye on that as the stream progresses and any other leaks that come out, because I'm sure there will be more. But yeah, this is what Solskjaer said in his last conference. He said Martial's out for the Europa League final, so obviously he's out for this game as well. McTominay and Fred should be okay. Obviously, as we saw just now, neither of them in the 11. It's Van der Beek and Matic in the start 11. And he says, you'll want to go with loads of energy, but also confidence. We'll make a few changes versus Wolves, freshen up a few minutes into legs of those who might need it. I mean, he's made more than a few changes, if that leak's anything to go by. But that's massive. Has anyone in chat got Man United players that weren't in that leaked starting 11? I'll just bring it back up on screen. So Greenwood is in the 11. This is what's been leaked. So, you know, again, I don't know how reliable this source is, but considering he's got 300k followers, I don't think he'd put a leak out like that if it wasn't accurate. So, yeah, it looks like Greenwood does still start, obviously in a heavily rotated Man United side. It could end up being Greenwood coming off early. So, difficult one for Greenwood owners. I think you have to keep him. -4 for Elanga. But yeah, Bruno not in the starting 11. So if anyone in chat has Bruno, hopefully you haven't made your transfers yet, because there is definitely an opportunity there to jump on someone like Sadio Mane, who of course plays Crystal Palace at home. But let's carry on with the news roundup. So Llorente is out for this final fixture against West Brom. I was reading through the Leeds subreddit, and they said it's probably going to be Berardi that comes in at centre-back because it's his last game for Leeds. Obviously Leeds don't really have anything left to play for in the league, so he can afford to make some sentimental decisions. Like Castilla, you know, he's coming familiar unexpectedly for the last couple of games. And yeah, Llorente's out, so it looks like it's going to be Berardi in centre-back. I think he's only 4 mil, if anyone's looking for a really cheap enabler for the last game. And the other centre-back spot will probably be Struijk or Cooper. Ancelotti confirmed that they're going to be without James Rodriguez and Seamus Coleman for the Man City game. Another one to keep an eye on in terms of leaks, this Man City game. If anyone's looking for you know, a very late punt for this last round of fixtures of the season, then if any leaks come out, you know, for example, Foden's in the starting 11 or De Bruyne, you could take a punt on someone like that, especially considering Everton are going to be without Seamus Coleman in right back. So yeah, there's definitely some opportunities for some punts, especially if you're looking to make up some ground in your mini leagues. It's not over yet. Matheus Pereira faces a late fitness test for the Baggies ahead of that trip to Leeds. He picked up an injury, and it looks like he's touch and go, so to speak, in the wise words of Sean Dyche. Sergio Aguero plays his final Premier League game today. Absolute legend. I don't know if Adam's in the chat, but all season Adam's been talking about whether to pick up Aguero in his fantasy team, and all season I was saying no, I don't think so. But maybe now's the time to take one last punt on Sergio Aguero before we never see him in the Premier League again. Or probably not anyway. It looks like he's going to be headed to Barcelona. So yeah, he won his City's first Premier League title with that goal, of course. 12 hat-tricks in the Premier League, which was a record. The 4th all-time top scorer, 182 goals. And he scored 20 or more goals in 6 seasons. 5 times champion, absolute legend. Shame to see him go. I do really like Aguero. But obviously he's had fitness problems, so there's a question mark about whether he makes the starting 11. Guardiola said tomorrow will decide. As much as he can play, he will play. He's been disrupted. He had a partial training session, and tomorrow will decide. So either way, I fully expect we'll see Aguero, you know, even if he's limping on in the last closing seconds of the game. But it looks like we will see Aguero in some form of send-off. A player who we may or may not see is Diogo Jota, who there were reports that he was out for the remainder of the season, but Klopp said we'll make a late assessment to determine whether Jota is available for the Palace game or not. Really annoying one, Jota, because Liverpool's fixtures were so good for this run-in, and I think he would have done well. I had him in my team, and he was one of those players that I didn't plan to shift on for the remainder. You know, when I was making my moves around game week 31, 32, at that point you start to look at your team and think, which ones am I going to have locked in for the remainder of the season, and what players can I potentially shuffle around here? And Jota was one of those that I didn't have any plans to shuffle around, but he obviously got the injury, so I had to. And Nuno Espirito Santo has his final game in charge of Wolves today. A home fixture, by the way. I know Wolves fans will be gutted to see the back of him. Obviously, it's been a difficult season for Wolves. Not hit the same heights they did last season. Obviously, they've been unlucky with injuries as well. Jimenez obviously out for the season. Another other injuries in that Wolves side. So yeah, the last game for him. So I wonder what performance we'll see from Wolves, considering it is the last of his game in charge. You know, we could see Wolves giving it absolutely everything to see him off with a win, especially at home in front of fans. And this is how the Kings of the Game Week looks heading into Game Week 38. So there is just one slot left. Who do you guys think gets the last slot? We've got one slot left. Game Week 38. Who gets it? Aguero? Can you imagine? Thank you everyone that has tuned in already. Unbelievable turnout. This is definitely the most viewers we've ever had on the channel. So don't forget to like the video while you're here. Got loads prepared for the rest of the stream, which we will get through. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're not. I realise it's Game Week 38, but got loads more planned for next season. This is a relatively new channel. I've been playing FPL for about 10 years, but it's a relatively new channel that started in the middle of lockdown. So I've got loads more planned for next season, and the channel's only going to get bigger. So get involved. Subscribe to the channel and you get all these lovely graphics that I make exclusive for these streams. So yeah, thanks for being here. I will attempt to rattle through all the names that we've got in chat. Aish, Abra, Adam, Aiden, Deepu, Jack, James, Kieran, Matt Lee, got 2 Matts, Nyan, Ollie, Quadir, Rask, Rittik, SH2345, Sponshi, Vaisak, Vucci, anyone else I've missed, thank you all for being here. Who gets the last spot though? Jack says Antonio gets it. Aish reckons Elanga gets it. That would be an upset. I'm not even sure what Elanga's priced at or what position. I guess probably 4.5. Adam reckons that Joao Mata gets the last slot in his last game for his club. Maybe the last slot goes to someone playing their last game for their club, which could be Kane, to be fair. Could be Kane playing his last game for Spurs. Maybe not. Could be Aguero. He's obviously playing his last game for City. Could be Joao Mata playing his last game for Man United, I believe. Hopefully it goes to Salah. I know a lot of you have got the armband on Salah, myself included. I'm just going to have a check to see if there's been any more leaks. It looks like that Man United leak was all we've had so far. We will get back to that again later on the stream, because that was massive news from a potentially reliable source as well. So yeah, one slot left. Bale and Mahrez, I believe, and Dallas were the 3 players that have made it in twice this season. It took all the way to Game Week 27 before we had the first repeat, which was Mahrez. A lot of City players in there. Hopefully Salah can finish the season how he started, in the Kings, at the front and the end, but we'll see. This is the scout selection team for Game Week 38, the last one of the season. As always, we track this every game week to see how they did, and the last scout selection team for the season is as follows. I'll read it out in case we've just got any audio listeners. We've got Edison in goal, Trent, Dallas and me in defence. Salah captain, Mane, Harrison and Rafinha, interesting one. Double up in the Leeds midfield against West Brom. Kane up front, Antonio and Iheanacho. What do you guys think of the scout pick? I think this is a really strong one to finish on. Personally, I probably would have gone, instead of Iheanacho and Harrison, maybe Bamford and Willock, something like that. But besides that, I can't really fault these picks. I think, I think the team picks itself here. Interesting that they haven't gone with Bruno either. And it's kind of what we suspected. We've been talking about this, that it looks likely that Man United would rotate because, of course, the Europa League final is only 3 days after today, or 3 days from today, I should say. So it makes a lot of sense that you'd play a rotated side because you need that recovery period and you need all your players at maximum fitness, you know, if you stand a chance of winning the Europa League. So yeah, we expected a rotated Man United side, maybe not as much as we've seen on the leaks, but it is what it is. There's no Man United players in the scout pick this game week. Elanga starting. Kieran says, Focal, it's been confirmed. Has it? What's that? The leak? I mean, nothing's going to be officially confirmed, right? Or are you saying that other sources have also confirmed it? So this is the good old Premier League Players FPL Mini League. This is from fplbot.app. It's something we've had a look at all season, and if anyone's new to the channel, this is a mini league of all the Premier League players that play FPL. So if they were all together in a virtual league, this is how it would look. So James Justin had this wrapped up a long time ago. He's 4K overall. Outstanding season for James Justin. Obviously making use of all that spare time he's got off the back of his injury. No, to be fair, he's been doing well all season, James Justin. Lee Grant, I suppose he's another one that's had a lot of spare time as Man United's, was he third or fourth choice keeper? Harry Maguire, he's at third place at the moment. I don't know if any of you guys saw this, but Harry Maguire didn't own himself all season up until the triple game week, and then Harry Maguire brought himself into his team and captained himself, and then obviously got injured and ended up with the 1 point. So absolute disaster for Maguire. John McGinn snuck up to 4th place, and of course at the very bottom end of the table it is Mr. Bazuma, Vez Bazuma. Yves, is that how you say it? Vez Bazuma. He's had himself set and forget captain all season. I expect he'll continue that going into game week 38. Bit of an interesting team, Bazuma's. He's got Bailly, he's got Duncan Mendy, so not sure if any of those defenders will play. He's got Aurier and Van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk. I mean, I think he's probably not made a transfer since before Van Dijk's injury. Pepe, though, did well for him last game week, actually. He got a Greeno up to 7 mil. Ollie says, going to hit 100 viewers and I'm here for it. Yeah, unbelievable turnout. Really appreciate everyone that has tuned in for this deadline stream. It's obviously the most exciting game week of the season, the deadline. For anyone that missed it, this is how I'm lining up as it stands. I haven't made my transfers yet. My transfer will probably be Bruno out for Mane in, and then I think I'll leave it on a 4-4-2. What do you guys think? Is it worth doing a hit to get rid of Watkins for Bamford? Or maybe Wood? Bamford's obviously got West Brom and Wood's got Sheffield, so both very good fixtures. I don't know if it's worth the -4. I think I might just stick with good old 4-4-2. My whole defence, or the defensive back four, are playing at home, so hopefully that's a factor. Obviously the last game week of the season is very high scoring, very unpredictable. Sorry, my brother's just messaged me asking if he can come around for the football. Let me tell him not now. That'd be terrible if he came during the deadline stream. Sorry, how unprofessional is this? Sending a text while I'm live. Come just before kickoff. There we go. Sorry about that. What was I saying? So yeah, I'll play a 4-4-2. I think I'll do Bruno to Mane. Yeah, I mean, I got Smith Rowe on the bench, who really hurt me a couple of game weeks ago, who actually ended up being the highest scorer, didn't he? Back in game week 35, during the double game week, or triple game week for Man United, Smith Rowe ended up with 19 points. Only 4.2 mil he costs. By far the cheapest player that made it into the Kings. So that's how I'm lining up. Don't forget to vote on our captain poll, everyone. Captain poll is on our Discord, which is in the description. If anyone wants to join that, genuinely good FPL resource. And these are the Goalscorer odds for game week 38. So Salah is top according to the bookies, with a 60.5% chance of scoring. Far and away the highest, according to the bookies, that is. Bamford second, 50% chance. Mane 48.5. Aubameyang, interesting one. If anyone's looking for a very, I think it's a solid punt. I'm not going to lie. Aubameyang could do well. Massive differential. Kane's 43% chance of a goal. Aguero 42.5. Obviously, this assumes that the player starts. Whether Aguero does, we're not sure, but he certainly will get minutes. Someone posted it in our server, Kieran said. What's that? The leak? Yeah, Phil Jones starting, according to the leaks. We'll circle back to the leaks throughout this stream, because as we approach the deadline, there will no doubt be more leaks. So sit tight, lots to come. And the clean sheet odds for Gameweek 38 are as follows. Liverpool with the highest clean sheet odds, according to the bookies, 52% chance of a clean sheet. Chelsea, second with a 42.5% chance. They play Aston Villa. Man City, 42%. I wonder whether we'll see a rotated City side, like Man United, look like they will be ahead of the Europa League final. Obviously, in City's case, it's the Champions League final. Chelsea can't really afford to rotate. They need to win their game. City obviously have it wrapped up, so they can do what they want, really. But, of course, Man City do get a week between today and the Champions League final. So they've got more recovery period than Man United do. Palace, only 6.5% chance of a clean sheet, according to the bookies. They play Liverpool at Anfield. So I'm fairly happy to double up on Salah and Mane heading into this last game week. I think it's a very strong move if those leaks are to be believed. Obviously, I mean, we're all, FPL fanatics. We love this game too much, and here I am doing a deadline stream, and you guys here watching it to absorb everything that's happening. But a lot of people out there don't follow FPL as closely as us, so it's a massive opportunity to sell a player like Bruno if he ends up not in the starting 11, because the more casual players, if I can use the word casual, won't be looking at news like that. A lot of people are going to miss that Bruno news, again, if it is a true leak. It looks like it will be, based on the reputation of who tweeted that. More on that later. Sorry if I'm missing any messages in chat. I will do my best to read any messages that come through. Matt says -4 for Dallas because Llorente is injured. It's not the worst hit, to be honest, but it depends what other players you've got. David says, do you think Bale starts? Difficult one. I think last game he came off the bench, if I'm not mistaken, because he had some fitness issues. So honestly, I think it's 50-50 if Bale starts or not. Sponshy says, Wood will be my captain. Love that, Sponshy. Finishing the season. Well, you've had Wood captain in some previous game weeks as well, so I'm glad you're sticking to your guns there. Shrek, how you doing? Shrek Chungus, what a name. AJ says, Jack Harrison or Torres, or can I do Bruno to Mane? I would do Bruno to Mane, absolutely. Hakon says, I need to bench 2, Harrison, Watkins and Soufal. Can't decide, and I've been thinking about it all day. Any input? I would bench Watkins, who plays Chelsea. Obviously, we looked at the clean sheet odds just now, and Chelsea have the second highest clean sheet odds. If anyone missed it, these were the clean sheet odds. This is according to the bookies, and they're given Chelsea a 42.5% chance of a clean sheet. Something I have prepared for you guys as well is a table that shows the attacking and defensive numbers for the season so far, because it's good to look retrospectively at which teams over the course of the season have come out on top and bottom in terms of attack and defence. And spoiler, Chelsea have the best defensive numbers over the course of the season, which is unbelievable considering Tuchel was the one that transforming them defensively, and he only came in midway. Anyway, these are the expected points for Game Week 38, courtesy of fplreview.com. Salah is top with 9 expected points for Game Week 38, followed by Mane, 7.4. Bamford is on 7. Trent, 6.2. Robbo, 5.5. Rafinha, good to see him up there as well. Aubameyang, 5.4 expected points. Vardy, I wouldn't be surprised if Vardy does well this game. Spurs have not been good defensively at all. Could be a high scoring game. I think it was it 2 years ago that Spurs and Leicester played each other in the last game of the season, and there were 9 goals that game. So hopefully we see more of that. I've got a question for you guys. How many of the most transferred out players can you name? How many of the most transferred out players can you name heading into Game Week 38? And can you name the most transferred out player heading into this last game week? Dylan, how you doing, mate? Says, is Pereira going to start? Yeah, I mean, we did the news roundup, and basically what Allardyce said was that they're going to do a late test on him to see if he's available or not. So I don't know if we're actually going to get anything concrete before the deadline, annoyingly. Yeah, so it's really difficult to answer that one. It's going to come down to late fitness tests, which we won't have visibility of. Tim reckons it's Jota, most transferred out. Sponshy reckons it's Jota. Jano says it's Bruno. Yeah, the question was, who's the most transferred out player heading into this last game? Afan says Kane. Ratsk says it's DCL and Jota. Rittik says Son, Bruno, Greenwood. Only 2 people have got it. Okay, 3 people have got it now. Ratsk, Sponshy, and El Padrino all got it. The most transferred out player is DCL, heading into Gameweek 38. This screenshot was taken about half an hour before the deadline. Sorry, before I went live. And there was about 277,000 managers have sold DCL heading into this last game week. Cancelo, another one. Obviously, Cancelo picked up the red card last game, so he's going to absolutely miss this last game. Bruno, another one. 250,000 managers have sold Bruno heading into Game Week 38. Spoiler alert, I'm going to be one of those as well. It looks like the leaks that we've had, the Man United leak, was reliable, and that leak didn't have Bruno in the starting 11, so there's a massive opportunity there to ship out Bruno for someone like Mane. You know, it could be a massive swing. How many of the most transferred in players can you name, chat? Looking for the most transferred in player. Can you name the number 1? And if not, how many of the other most transferred in players can you name? Dylan says, who should I sell? Greenwood, Mahrez, Pereira or Martinez? And if so, for who? Have you got Rafinha? Pereira to Rafinha could be a good move, considering Pereira is potentially out injured. We saw the expected points just now. Rafinha's up there for expected points. Lino, how you doing? He says Bamford is the most transferred in. James says Pepe. Yeah, it was who's the most transferred in, Shrek. How many can chat name? No, I haven't made my transfers yet, Vijay. I'm probably going to be doing Bruno to Mane on this deadline stream. Still need to make my moves. Mikey Man asked if there's any news on Forster. I haven't seen anything on Forster. Do you mean if he's in the 11 or not? Hassan Hootel said he's going to give Forster 2 games and then McCarthy 2 games. So I think McCarthy's had 2 games now, so we could see Forster for the last game. Krish says Mane. Jack says Mane. SH says Mane, Salah and Trent. Most transferred in player was Patrick Bamford. 265,000 managers have brought in Bamford heading into Game Week 38, followed by Salah, 229,000. Willock, another one. Willock's arguably the most informed player right now. 5 goals and 5. Or is it 6? I think he's had 5 goals in his last 5 games, which is unbelievable because he's not even started in a couple of those. Harrison, another one. Dallas, Trent. Bamford does worry me. He's a player that I was looking at taking a hit to bring in, but I probably won't do it. I think I'll just play the back 4, as I say. But yeah, that's the most transferred in. Right, we are about half hour to the deadline, so let's all take a breather. Deep breath, guys. Let's play a round of who's that player before we get to the second half of the stream. If anyone's not played before, these are cutouts of players, and I want your guesses in the chat which player this is. So who is that player, chat? Oh, you've got Forster and Melia, Monkey Man. I think, honestly, you just play Forster and hope for the best there. I think there's probably higher upside making transfers outfield. I can't remember if you've got Bruno, Monkey Man. That reminds me, I do need to have a look at the FPL Focal Mini League standings because it's very tight at the top and it's going to go down to the wire. Okay, I think everyone got this one. That was an easy one to start off with. It is Chris Wood. Loads of guesses in chat. Okay, let's go on to another one. Who's that player? Guesses in the chat, everyone. Who's that player? While you do your guesses, I'm just going to check if there's been any other leaks. Doesn't look like it. No other leaks yet. We've still got half an hour till the deadline, so we'll keep an eye out for any other leaks that come in, because I'm confident there will be more. Vaga Cloud says Kane or Wood. I'd go Kane. Okay, was that an easy one as well? So James, Sponchi, Kieran, James, Afam, Shrestha, Sponchi, Abra, Aiden, James, all got it. Rax got it as well. That was Martinez. The reason I wanted to include Martinez is because I think he's 4 points off being the record points for a goalkeeper in a season. A record which has stood for 20 years, I think it is. I think it's Brad Friedel that has the record for the most points by a goalkeeper. So it's going to go down to the wire. We could see a record broken today by a goalkeeper, and it could be Martinez. Do you guys think he breaks the record? It's going to be hard, isn't it? Because he's got Chelsea. You know, are Villa going to keep a clean sheet, really? Are they going to keep a clean sheet against Chelsea? Maybe he saved a penalty instead. Okay, next one. I've included this one for Monkey Man, just to rub it in his face. Kieran says Focal, Pepe or Mount. Oof. I think I'd go Pepe. I'm trying not to let my Arsenal bias sneak in there, but Pepe's been in really good form lately. Plays Brighton, who are missing Lewis Dunk in centre back. So I think Pepe's a pretty solid punt for the last game week of the season. But I would keep out for any leaks, because, you know, if we see something like Foden leaked in the starting 11, then I'd say someone like Foden makes even more sense. James says Forster. Sponchi says Forster. Sabojit, Pulisic. Yeah, this is a harder one. This is a harder one. James Yap, aka Pope Baldy, says Forster. The answer was... it was indeed Forster. Alright, here's the next one. Who's that player? Just checking for any leaks that have come in over the last few minutes. And it looks like the only leak we've had so far is the Man United one, which I'll put back on screen after this one. This one's a bit harder. Who's that player, chat? Kieran says Poveda. Finna says Cavani. I mean, the hair is the clue here. You have to do it on the hair, I suppose. Afan says Fabio Silva. Adam says Fabio. Poveda from Leeds. Poveda. Fabio Silva. Looks pretty divided between Fabio Silva and Poveda. The answer was... it was Fabio Silva. Alright. Next one. I think this is another one where the hair gives it away. Guesses in the chat. Who's that player? I know this guy was a very popular pick at the start of the season. Start of the season very cheap. Looked like a promising FPL prospect. Didn't really hit the heights we thought he would this season. He did get COVID, obviously, this season, and missed a significant part of the season due to that. Wow, loads of guesses in chat. Okay, so Ayash, James, Afan, Sponchi, Kieran, Zlatan. We've got Zlatan in the chat. Good to have you, Zlatan. Adam, El Pradino, Kradir, James Yap. The message is moving so fast I can't keep up now. Nyan, SH, Rask, Aiden, James, Kieran. I think everyone, pretty much everyone got that one. That was Saint Maximan. Okay, last one, chat. One more. One more. Who is that player? Slightly tougher one to finish on. You'll kick yourself if you don't get this one, though. Chris, how you doing, mate? He says, I've got an 8-point lead. Do I sacrifice my 8 points to make some final blocks? Davies, Bruno, Castagna, to Bamford, Rafinha to block, and to Dallas to block. I mean, if your team ends up identical to theirs, then sure, if it means you block them. But if you're taking an 8-point hit with an 8-point lead, I think that's a bit risky. I don't know if I would do that, to be honest with you. I would look at doing something like Bruno to Mane. I would just play for the upside. Dallas is a good block, but I think Mane's got higher upside than Rafinha. Oh, is this one stumped you guys? Sabojit says Pulisic. It's not Che Adams, it's not Pulisic, it's not Ashley Barnes, it's not Barkley, it's not Hayes, it's not Pedence, not Xhaka, not Barkley. Alright, I'll give you a big clue. Today he is playing his last game for the club he is from. Only one person's guessed it, but that's a massive clue. Today they're playing their last game for the club they're from, and it's not Ross Barkley. I suppose technically he is as well, because he's on loan from Chelsea. Difficult one this, but that's a big clue, I think. That should help. James has got it, Kieran's got it, Sponshy's got it, Affan's got it. Affan chucked on a few O's. Aguero! That moment still brings a tear to my eye when I watch that replay. And I'm not even a City fan. Just absolutely magic, that moment. Balotelli's only assist that season as well. And he gets it in the most dramatic fashion. It brings a tear to my eye just talking about it now. What a moment. Sergio Aguero. As I say, his last game for Man City today. And then he's off to Barcelona. Club record scorer. 5 Premier League titles. Record number of hat-tricks in the Premier League, and today's his last day for Man City. Would love to see an Aguero goal as a send-off. That would be incredible. Hopefully he's fit enough to make the starting 11. If not, I am sure he comes off the bench. But it was Sergio Aguero. What a player. Also interesting that, I mean, I'm going on a tangent here, this isn't FPL, but Barcelona get rid of Luis Suarez. He goes to Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid then go and win La Liga. So, you know, Suarez is saying they didn't want me, they didn't value me, they got rid of me. And then Suarez goes and scores 21 goals in La Liga, wins La Liga. And then Aguero goes to Barcelona instead. I mean, I think Suarez is probably a better striker than Aguero now. So, yeah, crazy. I don't know what Barca are up to these days. They're in so much trouble if Messi does leave. I know Messi and Aguero are obviously really good friends. Maybe that's why. They've picked him up. Anyway, let me get back to the Man United League for anyone that missed it. So this is from Mark Goldbridge. He's got 300k followers on Twitter. I don't know much about his reliability, but I can't imagine anyone with that many followers would tweet something that they're not 100% on, because that's the sort of thing that would just destroy your reputation, especially when it's such a high stakes game, you know, the most followed game week of the season. But this is the league Man United lineup, so it's Henderson back in goal, Williams in right back, Bailly and Jones centre back, Tellez left back, Matic and Van der Beek centre mid, Ahmad, Mata and Greenwood, and then Elanga. That's the league Man United lineup. Let me check if we've had any more leaks besides that. Doesn't look like we've had anything else come through yet. I think as we get very close to the deadline, we'll have more leaks, but that's the Man United league lineup. Anyway, don't forget to get your votes in on the captain poll, which is on our Discord. Link to our Discord in the description. Really good FPL resource, even if it is the last game week of the season. We're going to be doing the Euros Fantasy over the break, and then of course next season you don't want to go into the season and not be in this Discord. We've got the price changes, we've got the lineups, we've got the live scores, we've got the bonus points, we've got the stats bot, a really cool one. You can just do info, any type of player, and then boom, it gives you info about that player. We've got injury updates, we've got the game week stats, top 10k stats, insider trading. If anyone's not seen this before, this is the Premier League players and staff on FPL, and it shows you what moves they've made. I think, yeah, here, look, last game week, Harry Maguire transferred himself out. Obviously, because he got injured. Maguire brought himself in for the triple game week, and then obviously got injured and transferred himself back out. So there's loads more. There's news, transfer trends, disaster class. This is a relatively new one. This one shows the worst, moves in FPL and things like red cards and goals. But look at this. Van Schaaril made 14 transfers, a 52-point hit in Gameweek 37, and they went from 7.9k to 44k. Oh, that hurts to read. Heading into the last Gameweek of the season, throwing it like that. Brutal. What else? We were going to have a look at the mini league standings, which are here. So this is the FPL Focal Mini League. Kieran is narrowly in front. He's got a 13-point lead over Monkey Man. I don't know what moves Monkey Man has planned, but he is in second place. Still all to play for in the mini league. If anyone's not in the mini league, that's in the description. I'm going to make my moves very soon before the deadline. My moves are going to be Bruno's going to be going out for Mane, and then I probably won't make him a second move. The last few seasons I've taken a hit going into Gameweek 38, and this season I really didn't want to do that because it just gives you no time to repay the hit. You've just got that one shot at your hit being repaid, and that's it. So that's what I'm probably going to be doing. Bruno to Mane. I'll leave it for now before I do that. But that is my team heading into this last game week. Thank you everyone who has tuned in. We've got 15 minutes till the deadline. Everyone like the video while you're here. Helps others discover the channel. It is a relatively new channel. Started this channel midway through the season, but I've been playing FPL for about 10 years, and I try to cover loads of original content as much as I can squeeze into these streams, because I think that's more interesting than just me having my team on screen like this and just reading questions in chat. So yeah, hours of work goes into these streams, and of course I've started making captain videos and that sort of thing. Ayush says the Discord is very good. Thank you, Ayush. I'll send you that $5 later for that. Yeah, you can join the mini league, Bosnia, no problem. Fizzar says, should I take a hit on Cavani to Antonio? Yeah, I like that move. I like that move a lot, because Cavani looks like he won't be in the 11. Antonio's got a very good fixture. I think that's actually a justified hit. Bijay says, I thought there'd be leaks. Yeah, we've had the Man United leak, and I fully expect there to be more. The leaks usually come very last minute. So I'd say in the next 10 minutes we're bound to have some more news trickle in. But the main Man United news we've had is... Sorry, the main leak we've had is the Man United lineup, which was that Bruno wasn't in the 11. Greenwood was. Shaw wasn't in the 11 either. It's Tellez and Williams in fullback. So no Wan-Bissaka either. So a heavily rotated Man United side, which makes sense. No, I'm just kidding, Aish. 100 viewers, unbelievable. That's by far the most we've had. I think that must be over double the most we've ever had. So it's amazing to have everyone here for this exciting last game week of the season. I think what we'll do, usually after the 1 hour mark, that's when the stream ends. But I think it would be good today if we stick around all the way until the lineup's coming out, which is half an hour after the deadline. Because that's going to be frantic. We're going to have 20 lineups coming out concurrently. So we'll have a look at all the lineups, whether the Man United leak was correct. And of course, in the 10 or so minutes that remain, we'll have a look for any other leaks that come through. If there's any questions, team-related questions in chat, let me know. As I mentioned earlier, I've put together a table of the defensive and offensive numbers over the season. So this is the attacking stats. So I've included some columns here like minutes per big chance, minutes per XG, shots in the box, XG non-penalty, and expected goals. And this is something good to bear in mind for next season, really. This is the data you can carry over, really. And Liverpool, despite having an underwhelming season, they have been top for expected goals, just narrowly. City in second, Chelsea up there as well. Really impressive job that Tuchel's done. And at the bottom end of the table, as you'd expect, Sheffield, 32 expected goals, so less than an expected goal per game for Sheffield. And Palace as well, really disappointed numbers for them. And that's something I've not even mentioned this stream. Today is Hodgson's last game in charge of Palace. Maybe even last managerial game, period. But yeah, he plays, of course, away at Anfield, which is going to be a very tough game. And the defensive numbers for the season look like this. Chelsea top, as I said earlier, for XG conceded. Only 29 over the entire season. So I do think next season having at least one defensive Chelsea player is going to be well worth it. Assuming Tuchel sticks with the 3 at the back, because they've been unbelievably rigid, solid with that formation. Maybe Mendy. I think Mendy is going to go up to 5.5. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting as well to see what changes we see both in price and in position heading into next season. For example, Stuart Dallas, next season, is he going to be a midfielder rather than a defender? And if so, what do they price him at? You know, would he be a 6 mil midfielder? And again, West Brom actually worse over the season for XG conceded by a fair way as well. 66 XG conceded. Oops, I think I muted myself. As I say, if there's any questions in chat for your teams, do let me know. I'll answer as many questions as I can in these 10 minutes before the deadline. And then we'll stick around, we'll relax, hang out for a bit in the half hour leading up to the lineups coming out. And then we'll have a look at all the lineups as they drip feed through. Vasim says, any love for a Vardy punt? Absolutely. Yeah, Tottenham have been really poor defensively. And of course, this is a must-win game for Leicester. They have to go for it. They currently sit in 5th place on goal difference. So, you know, even if Liverpool win 1-0, and Leicester's, it's not going to happen, but say Leicester won 5-0, then Leicester would go 4th on goal difference. So, basically, Leicester have to go for it. So, there could be a lot of goals in that game again. And as I say, a couple of years ago, Leicester versus Spurs finished, I think it was 5-4, if I'm not mistaken. Just seeing if I can find the old head-to-head data on that. I mean, obviously, historical data. Maybe it's not worth reading into it too much because you're talking about different managers for both sides. But I do have it here. This was how it finished. This was on the 13th of May, 2018. Last game of the season, and it was a 5-4 thriller. Iheanacho actually scored in that one. Vardy scored 2, Mahrez scored, Mahrez got 2 assists as well. Kane got a brace. Christian Fuchs got an own goal. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see a very high scoring game there. I should have prepared it for the stream, but basically I actually had a look into, you know, whether there was something to what they say about Gameweek 38, because it is traditionally a very high scoring game week. And I did actually have a look at the data. I'll just pull up on screen, and this is how it looked. So basically this was a tweet from a few days ago, and I said, important game week to get captaincy right. Game week 38, historically high scoring. On average, 3.4 goals scored per game. So, yeah, historically it is a very, very high scoring game week. You know, a lot of sides just going for it. A lot of sides have got nothing left to play for. You know, some teams on the beach, as they say. So this is going to be a very, very exciting game, or game week, I should say. FPL Focal says, check Mark Goldbridge. Has he tweeted something else, or is this the same one? Mark Goldbridge. Let's have a look. Oh God, what's he tweeted now? Right, okay. So he's posted a follow-up tweet which says, apparently this might not be the team now. So he's reversed back on what he said there. He did post this lineup earlier, which was that, as follows. And he says apparently this might not be the team now. Let me just check if there's been any leaks within the last few minutes. Nothing from the Man United lineup. I think what I'm going to do, regardless, is the Bruno to Mane move. I don't think it's worth having Bruno because there is still that risk that he doesn't play. And I would say Man United have got the worst fixture between them and Mane. Yeah, you're quite right. Lots of followers doesn't necessarily mean that it's reliable. If anyone's got team questions, do put them in the chat. I'll answer all your questions before we get to the deadline. Don't forget to check your captains on the right player, everyone. You got your bench in the right order. Good rule of thumb is it's always best to captain players from 2 different fixtures, just in case of a postponement. I know there were a few people that had Salah captain Bruno Weiss when Liverpool v Man United got postponed. So that's a good rule of thumb. Captain 2 players from 2 different fixtures, just in case of a postponement. You know, no one ever foresaw that postponement happening, but it did. We've got 7 minutes till the deadline, everyone. If anyone sees any leaks, do just let us know in chat. Pavlici says, is Areola going to start? I would have thought so, yeah. I don't imagine why he wouldn't. Obviously, some managers have been rotating their keepers lately. And obviously, Fulham, in their case, they're already relegated. Their fate is sealed, so there's a chance. But I would say Areola is good to start. Director T says, Bruno and Shaw to Mane and Alioski for a -4. It's whether that it's difficult to say whether Bruno and Shaw play because that league wasn't 100% reliable. Mark Goldbridge tweeted, so I think it probably is worth it. If you don't have Phillips from Liverpool, I think he's an even better option than Alioski. You know, he's actually been scoring as well recently, getting up for corners. He actually scored last game week, so I think Phillips, if you don't have the Liverpool triple up, is a good one. But yeah, if not, Alioski looks like a good one as well. Sorry if I missed any messages. I don't know why Nightbot's removing your messages, Dylan, but you said Martinez to Leno or Castilla or Pereira to Willock to cover Martinez bench. So Martinez to Leno or Castilla or Pereira. Have you got Rafinha already, Dylan? I think Pereira to Rafinha is the obvious one. If not, Willock makes sense to me. I would just leave Martinez in and use your last transfer on an outfield player with a high ceiling. You know, Willock could easily get a goal and an assist, but you know, at best with Leno, you're going to hope for a clean sheet, aren't you? Dean says Kane to Bamford. I'm not convinced by people selling Kane. I know it's a popular move, but it's still Kane, and it could be his last ever game for Spurs for all we know. He's going to absolutely, and remember, he's also going for Golden Boot. As it stands, Kane's on 22 goals for the season, and as it stands, Salah's on 22 goals for the season. So it's going to go all the way down to the wire for who gets the Golden Boot. So I don't think selling Kane is the move. You know, if you're looking to sell a striker, I think that someone like Watkins is the sort of player you move on for a Bamford, but I don't think Kane is. I think you have to keep Kane. And remember, also, as I was saying, Leicester have to win this game. They have to go for it. And really, they need to win by a fair amount of goals, you know, just in case Liverpool, you know, get a 1-0. You know, Leicester will kick themselves if they win as well, but don't score enough that would have put them over the line. So it could be an open game, that one. Hopefully. I think it will be. I think it's going to be an absolute cracker, the Spurs v Leicester game. Chat, which game are you going to watch? Which games are you watching? I might dual screen it. I might have a game on each screen. I've got 2 screens here. I've got like one that's got the stream here, and then I've got the other one here, which is like all the content I have prepared for the stream. We are 3 minutes till the deadline. Is there any other leaks? Doesn't look like it. I'm going to make my transfers any minute now. I'm probably still going to do the Bruno to Mane move, to be honest with you. Someone said, any other leaks? And then in the comments it said, just my sink, mate. Rakesh says, will Harrison play? Yes. Babel, how you doing, mate? Says, hey, folk, all right, my team, Castilla, Dallas, Robbo, Trent, Soufal, Son, Salah, Captain, Willock, Bamford, Wood, Kane. Yeah, perfect. Love it. I think I would have the bench in the same order as that as well. Yeah, looks good. Looking well set up for this last game week. Good luck, Babel. Vijay's obviously going to watch Villa v Chelsea, makes sense. Ben's watching Sheffield, interesting. Abra's going to watch Leeds v West Brom. I should really do my transfers before I would never forgive myself if I started rambling and then missed my, my last chance to make a transfer before the deadline. I can't believe we've not had any other leaks though. That is surprising. Let's have one more look. Right, I'm going to do it locked in. Bruno to Mane. Done. So that is how I'm lining up for this last game week of the season. I'll put the vice on Kane just so I've got 2 captains from 2 different fixtures. There we go. So yeah, going into this last game week, I'm 75k. I did want to finish higher. The start of season target was top 10k, but you know, if I end up finishing top 100k, I'll be happy with that. I'm just hoping now that Bruno isn't in the Man United starting 11. Fingers crossed. Adam and Vab are going to watch Arsenal. I'm not even sure how they're covering it in the UK. It looks like they're going to have it on Sky, BT, and Amazon Prime. Yeah, it's crazy. You have to take out 3 subscriptions just to be able to watch all of the games. We forgot to look at the captain poll results, didn't we? Let's have a look at those now. So those were as follows. I'll do my vote now as well. So captain Salah. So the captain poll, Salah is, wow, he's way out in front. 77 votes for Salah. Second is Bamford with 10. 5 votes for other. If anyone in chat has gone other, let me know who you went for. We had 3 votes for Trent, 4 votes for Mane. 2 votes for Bruno, 2 for Kane, 2 for Iheanacho. Interesting, 2 votes for Iheanacho. 1 vote for Vardy. Interesting. Thank you again everyone that has tuned in to this deadline stream. I will stick about for another half an hour and we'll see what the lineups are. That's going to be madness watching all those lineups come out concurrently. Obviously there's going to be 20 lineups coming out in exactly half an hour from now. Cheers, Vabble. Yeah, as I say, thank you everyone for tuning in to this deadline stream so far. I will stick around for the lineups, but don't forget to like the video if you haven't. Much appreciated, helps others discover the channel, and subscribe to the channel if you're not. I will be back next season with loads more planned, and I may do the odd stream or 2 before next season as well. I may do like a post Gameweek38 one where we can look at things like who scored the most over the season, you know, what price changes we anticipate for next season, the team of the season, the scout results, etc. Appreciate you all being here though. Ayush, Abra, Adam, Amir, Ben Harley, Dean, Dylan, EJT, HS Lee, Hakon, James, Pavlici, Quadir, Rahil, Rakesh, Rat, Sponchi, Sujit, hello mate, didn't see you sneak in, the Flisk, Tim Lansdale, Vice, Zach, Vijay, Vabel, Vasim, anyone else I've missed. Appreciate you all being here. Hope everyone has an excellent game week 38. We are half an hour from the fixture, the lineups being released. Something I wanted to show to you guys is this website. Not sponsored or anything like that, but it's just a really cool website. This is fplretro.com, and you just basically put in your ID and then you do create your retro. I don't know if you'll be able to load it because FPL is down at the moment, so I did load it up in a background tab in anticipation of that. And basically it just gives you like a nice summary of your season. So things like you know, your best performance of the season in captaincy. My best captaincy was game week 1. That's not great, is it? Started the season strong. Best game week, you know, your most captained. You can look at things like the transferred, so total number of hits. I took a minus 48 over the course of this season. Most points benched. Game week 35, I benched 37 points. That game week still haunts me. That's when I should have used my free hit, my bench boost, but I got my chips the wrong way round. I ended up free hitting that game week. My worst transfer was in game week 4 when I sold Mitrovic and Son to Jimenez and Barnes. Oh my days, what the... So I remember this. This was when Mourinho said that Son was injured, and then game week 4 rolled around and Son scored 4 goals. Does anyone remember that? That was savage. That was one of my low points this season. The other low point, do you remember when Salah was confirmed to be, or leaked to be on the bench against Crystal Palace? So when that happened, I sold Salah for Rashford. Rashford had Leeds. And obviously Salah came off the bench, scored 2, got an assist, and Rashford somehow blanked against Leeds in a 6-2 win. That was absolutely brutal. That one really, really hurt. That one properly stung. So it's fplretro.com. I have put it in the description as well, guys, in anticipation of going through this. So there's actually just a link in the description. I don't know if it'll be able to pull your data out because the game's going to be updating, but it's fplretro.com. I did include a link in the description. Really cool site. And then it's got things like your chips, so it can show you when you use them, your history, so that shows how you did in previous seasons. This season is apparently my 4th best out of 10 seasons, so not great, not horrible. Rat says, I don't need this website. I'll feel regret while browsing. Yeah, it's difficult to not look at these websites and not feel regret. Certainly I do, especially because it highlights your worst transfer of the season, which is the sort of thing you want to forget about, but there we go. So the fixtures for today. We are an hour and a half away from all the games kicking off. It's going to be absolutely mayhem. It's going to be kicking off on our Discord as well, of course. So if you want to join our Discord, that's in the description. It's probably going to be absolutely wild in there during the game. But yeah, the fixtures today: Arsenal v Brighton, Villa v Chelsea, Fulham v Newcastle, Leeds v West Brom, Leicester versus Spurs, Liverpool versus Palace, Man City versus Everton, Sheffield versus Burnley, West Ham v Southampton, and Wolves v Man United. Nuno Espirito Santo's last game in charge of Wolves, playing at home to Man United. Maybe we'll see an upset there if Man United do indeed rotate, especially because it is his last game in charge. I don't see any other leaks, disappointingly, heading into... Obviously, we're past the deadline now, but it looks like we've not had any other leaks, which is a shame. I thought we were going to get more than that, but that's... Sponshy says, may your arrows be green. Conveniently as well, on the thumbnails, you might have noticed the colour changes. I rotate the colours used in the background of my thumbnails for no particular reason, just for some variety, and it happened to land on green for this last game week of the season. So the GW38 deadline stream thumbnail was the green background. So is it a sign of things to come? Green arrows to come. Dylan says, it's unbelievable, Jeff. Goal at Anfield. Who's it gone for? Hopefully it's gone for Mane, who I just brought in. Rax says, what games do you think will be high scoring? I think Leicester v Spurs is going to be an absolute cracker. I think Liverpool v Palace, I think that's going to be 3-0, maybe 4-0. The City game's a tough one to call. It depends on what Pep does, whether he rotates a lot or not. Burnley versus Sheffield, I think that could be a high scoring one. I think Wood could get something in that one. I think Villa v Chelsea's not going to be particularly high scoring. Leeds v West Brom, I think that could be another good game. Obviously West Brom already relegated, and obviously Allardyce halfway out the door, so yeah, I mean, there's questions to be asked about West Brom's motivation for that game. And obviously Leeds have looked really good lately, and throughout the season, to be honest. What price do you think Bamford's going to be priced at next season? I think he was one of the nicest surprises of the season, because he started the season at 5.5 and he's contributed to something like 25 goals through goals and assists this season. And I've just remembered something that we have set up for just for today, really, is we've got this live scores channel. So let me just move that all the way up. Oops, I'll have to do it on the actual Discord client. Basically, this is a channel we've set up that's going to have all of the live scores. So what I'm going to do now while we're live is make this channel public, so that everyone that's on our Discord can see it. Yeah, this is like a one-off special for today. We've got a bot that will update all of the scores. So let's make that public. Make sure that people can't send messages, but they can react. There we go. So if you're on our Discord, that live scores channel has just gone live. So that's going to be there for today's games. So definitely get involved on our Discord. Of course, we've got the live match channel where you can discuss all the matches live while they happen. But it looks like there was no leaks pre-deadline, annoyingly, which is a shame. Fully expected to have several leaks, but didn't get much in the end. We had the Man United leak, but then they went back and said probably not going to be... and it says full lineup, please. Tierney starts. Has there been an Arsenal leak? If anyone's getting any news or leaks about the lineups, let us know in the chat before we get to before we get to 3 o'clock when the lineups actually come out. EJT says, what's your biggest regret this season? Biggest regret was, I don't know if I can regret it, but when there was the leak that Salah was benched, as I say, I sold Salah for Rashford because I figured what's Salah going to do? He might come on or he might blank. And Rashford had Leeds, and I really thought that was going to be a high scoring game, Man United versus Leeds. And it was, but somehow Rashford was uninvolved in all 6 goals. So that properly stung. That was quite damaging. What else for regrets though? I do regret some of my hits. Every season I tell myself I'm going to take less hits, but I still took quite a lot this season. One thing I do is I keep a little notepad on my desktop, and I do just keep note of lessons and things I've learned. So I can read some of these out if you guys want to hear some of the FPL lessons, because I do like to keep these noted down just to remind myself once in a while and carry what I've learned into next season. So I've got have a plan and stick to it. Pretty obvious one really, but it just makes sense. It's easy to change your plan when you get new information. Hits don't pay off most of the time. It's a big gamble, and most of the time a completely unnecessary one. That's another one. The third one, avoid bandwagons. Another one is that historical results aren't always a clear evidence of what will happen. For example, City had scored 4 per game against West Ham the last 5 times they played. All of them had at least 4 goals. And then they played this season and it was 1-1. Another one is don't rotate goalkeepers. This is a really good one. Don't rotate goalkeepers. And quite a common tactic is to have 4.5 keepers and you just rotate them. But actually what happens is the cheaper keepers actually pick up lots of save points. For example, look at Melia. Going into this season, you said there's no way Melia keeps nearly as many clean sheets as Edison. But Melia has finished on more points than Edison. And that's because he's getting all these save points. And that also leads to him getting bonus. Whereas Edison, all his outfield players get the points. He just gets the 6 pointers, which do tick along. But actually, you'll find the cheap keepers do just as well. And often you'll find rotating them isn't actually worth it because they do get more save points against the tougher sides. This is turning into an FPL class, isn't it? An FPL lecture. Welcome to the... I shouldn't call it a lecture. That's going to make you switch the stream off. No one wants to be in a lesson on a Sunday. I'll carry on though, because there is lots of good ones here and they're all worth bearing in mind. Don't let fear rule transfer decisions. We can't have them all. That's another one. It's easy to just get FOMO and you end up completely dissecting your team and putting yourself in a worse position. So this one is a lesson from this season. I've wrote a premium can do damage off the bench, and then I've just noted down that Salah move, and I sold Salah because he was going to be benched, and Salah got 2 goals and 1 assist in 33 minutes against Palace. What else have I got here? Be open to new tactics. That's a really good one. So this season, that was definitely one I incorporated. Be open to new tactics. In previous seasons, everyone's sort of done the same thing. You use the chips at the same time. Like you wildcard before a double game week, and you bench boost a double game week. You free hit the blank. But this season, I did it completely differently. One thing I've seen people do with success is wildcard and in blank game weeks. For any of you that follow chess, Magnus Carlsen's the chess grandmaster, and he plays FPL. I think you can carry over some of the skill in chess to FPL. you know, the decision making and long term thinking. And Magnus Carlsen did something that no one else did, and he used his wild card in the blank game week, and he shot up from something like 80k to the top 10k just in the space of a few weeks. And he still got his bench boost, by the way, so he's completely, you know, gone the opposite way to the meta, or whatever you want to call it. Monkey Man says the leak that Mane will get a hat trick. Good leak that. I'll take it. Spanshy says leaked. Ozil will get 100 points this game week. Amazing. He's doing well to get 100 points from another league. Adam says Aguero posts graphic on Instagram whenever he starts. He's done so today. Likewise with Jesus. Oh, so maybe we'll see Jesus and Aguero up top. Is there any other lessons worth reading out here? I mean, I've got don't wildcard unless it's absolutely essential. You know, sometimes taking a -4, -8 even can actually just get you out of a pinch. And the wildcard's such a powerful chip that really want to utilise it the best way. Aiden says Greenwood is 100% not starting. Hopefully this calms people's nerves. Sources odds on FPL. Wow. Let's just pull up his Twitter account. Odds on FPL. Odds on FPL, there he is. Man United lineup in the known leaks. He has posted some reliable in the knows. I have seen this guy posting before. He says Greenwood is 100% not starting. Hopefully this calms people's nerves. I mean, it depends if you're a Greenwood owner. I don't think that would calm everyone's nerves. He hasn't posted anything else though, in terms of whether Bruno or a like start. Interesting. So that other leak we had from Goldbridge wasn't accurate, because it looks like Greenwood's not in the starting 11. One thing I have started doing, obviously this season we've used fplreview.com a lot. They give you like expected points for a given game week, and I do use this website in my decision making more than ever now. I think it's a really useful website when you're on the fence about making some transfer decisions, because you can use their data to see whether that's the wrong team, isn't it? That's my team now. There we go. Yeah, I think FPL Review is a good website to start using if you guys haven't seen it or haven't used it for your decision making on FPL. We've got 15 minutes and then all the lineups are out. Any other leaks? If anyone sees any leaks or early news in the chat, let us know. But what we have had from odds on FPL is that Greenwood is not starting. He hasn't posted any other Man United news. It's just Man United lineups and leaks that he gets news of. But yeah, Greenwood not starting according to him, and he has been very reliable. So I would say you can take that as a fact that Greenwood is not on the starting 11, be on the bench. So where's everyone going to be watching the game? You watching it at home? Are you going out, going pub, around the family, around your friends? What's the plan? I think I'm just going to dual screen it on these two monitors I've got here. So I think I might have the Liverpool game on one, because I've got the Liverpool triple up, and then maybe the Arsenal game on the other one. There's actually still a chance of Arsenal making top 4. Let's actually pull up the Premier League table. Heading into the last game week of the season. This is how it looks. So Man City, obviously they've wrapped the league up. Man United have got second place wrapped up. Again, this is why we did suspect that there would be some rotation in that Man United side, because they've got second place wrapped up and they've got the Europa League in just 3 days. No Kante, no Kovacic, no Havertz. Aiden, I don't know where you're getting all this info from. You're our #1 leaker right now. If there's any other news that comes in, Aiden, let us know. So no Kante, Kovacic or Havertz in the Chelsea side. That's interesting. It's a must-win game for Chelsea. They have to win the game. But yeah, so Chelsea, They haven't got top 4 wrapped up yet. Leicester are in 5th. So if Leicester were to win and Chelsea were to lose, then they would overtake Chelsea. Maybe even Liverpool. So this top 4 is going to go all the way down to the wire. West Ham have got Europa League locked up. They can't make 5th at this point. And of course Fulham, West Brom and Sheffield all relegated. Who's in the Championship playoff final? I saw Brentford won 3-1 yesterday, didn't they? So Brentford are in the final, is that right? I don't know who the other team were though. Is it Swansea? Is it Brentford v Swansea in the Championship playoff final? Yeah, in Arsenal's case, they're in 9th, but there is still a chance of them getting Europa League, but it really would be reliant on a lot of other things coming in. So I don't know what the chances are of that happening, but there is a chance of Arsenal coming above Tottenham still, which would be unbelievable on the last day of the season. Probably infuriating from a Spurs fan perspective as well. Do you guys think Kane leaves Spurs this summer? Brentford v Swansea is the Championship final. I hope Brentford make it. I'd love to see Tony in the Prem. He's had an incredible season. I think he actually broke the record for goals. He got 31 goals, 10 assists in the Championship this season. Unbelievable. Norwich obviously on their way back up. Timu Pukki back in the Premier League. 26 goals, 4 assists Pukki got in the Championship. Who remembers the Pukki party? That season they came up and Leicester started the season so strong. Sorry, Norwich started the season so strong. And I remember Pukki got a hat-trick in one game. And he looked basically essential at one point. I think he was only 6 mil. And then he just completely dropped off and didn't do anything for the remainder of the season. Adam says Kane's gone, and it's hilarious, he adds. That's from an Arsenal fan's perspective. No Ben Rama. Thanks, Aidan. In the West Ham lineup. That's ex-West Ham United employee. Very reliable source. That's basically gospel as well, if that's what he's tweeted. No Ben Rama in the West Ham lineup. So James says he goes to City, defo. I think it has to be City. I don't know where else he could go. I don't think Man United would buy him. There's not many teams that could afford him. How much would he go for? Like 100 mil? Pukki had 60% ownership. Yeah, incredible. And then it was just like the most dramatic drop-off. I remember Norwich playing Man City, and Norwich played the perfect game. They looked incredible. They looked like prime Barca against Man City that game. And City just couldn't do anything about it. They tried everything, but Norwich ended up winning that game 3-1. What an upset that was. Hopefully they've learnt a thing or two from their last spell in the Premier League. I'm so relieved my voice lasted the duration of this stream. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice a bit, but I was out in London last night. Had quite a bit to drink, if I'm honest. I went out with friends for the first time in about 6 months. So it was a pretty late one, but I wasn't going to miss this deadline stream for the world. And I appreciate everyone that is still around here. Everyone that did tune in. As always, when the stream finishes, I'll add the timestamps just in case you wanted to go back and catch anything. Sponshy says Jota benched. So it'll be Mane, Firmino, and Salah front three. So a tweet from FPL Rockstar is as follows: Salah, Mane, and Bobby all start. Jota and Henderson's on the bench. Good to have Henderson back. I suppose he has to make the Euro squad, doesn't he? I expect, since we were what, 7 minutes till the lineups coming out. We're about to get a massive feed of all the leaks before those actually come out. We'll just see if Rockstar posts anything else. I imagine there's going to be quite a few leaks coming in. For those that don't know, the way it works is the Premier League have a portal where they upload the fixtures. Oh, sorry, they upload the lineups for all the fixtures. So people that work in the media get access to that, and they get to see the lineups. You know, because the media want to basically have the lineups or the articles and whatever they're working on ready before the lineups are actually public knowledge. Obviously, Sky, BT, Amazon, they have the lineup graphics to do as well ahead of the schedule. So that's how it works. There's a portal that you get access to. What I would do to have access to that portal, chat, imagine having access to that. You get to see all the lineups early. Obviously, they've moved the deadline, so it doesn't make much difference in terms of what you're able to do, but that's how it works. So that's why now that there's about 15, or there was 15 minutes to the actual lineups coming out, that's why the leaks are starting to surface. And obviously in some cases, some people have actual inside knowledge, not just from the portal, but outside of that as well, which is where they get early news. Robbo and Trent start. No Benteke. Interesting. I did read that Benteke wasn't spotted in the Palace training camp. James says, what's your plans for the channel in the summer? Are you planning to do UCL fantasy content? Euros fantasy content. I haven't decided if I'm actually going to do any videos on Euros fantasy, but we are going to absolutely be doing it on the Discord. So I will create a league. I will post that. I'll post that on Twitter as well. So we will do Euros fantasy. And we do even have a bot on the Discord that gives you info on Euros players. So you can do, I think it's EU info, and you can do like Kane. Oh, EU info. EU info Rashford. Oh, I've forgotten the command. But there's a command that gives you like information about a player that plays in Euros. EU info Ibrahimovic. Oh, I've forgotten what the command is, but anyway, there is a command that you can use to get info about Euros players. So we will do that. We will create a league for the Euros fantasy. I don't know whether I'll do many videos or that sort of thing. I may just enjoy the break. But next season, I've got loads more planned for the channel. Basically, I started this channel halfway through the season. Like I say, I've played fantasy for about 10 years. And it seemed like a good lockdown hobby to, you know, start the league. Sorry, to start the channel. And yeah, I've enjoyed it so much that I wanted to keep doing it, but I didn't want to overcommit either by doing so many videos and then finding it was too much. So obviously this season started off with just these live streams, and then I've started doing the captain's videos as well. And then next season I've got more planned. I may do things like my lineup team every week, so you can see my team selection. I may do like a watch list style videos, and then I've got loads more planned, like manager of the month, that sort of thing. The bot's dead. Oh, is that why? Okay, fine. Well, yeah, usually that EU info command gives you info about a player in the Euros, which is a useful one for those that will be playing it, because we will create a league. Has there been any other news ahead of the lineups coming out, chat? The bot is dead. Dallas benched? Really? Surely not. So the news we've had is Salah, Mane, Firmino, Trent and Robbo all start. That's kind of what we expected. Greenwood is 100% not starting. That's the other bit of news we've had. Dallas starts, Spanchy says. That was a roller coaster. What a U-turn that was. Ayu says, Spanchy, never do that again. Three minutes till the lineups are out, everyone. Crider says, is Harrison playing? I don't know if we've had any news on the Leeds lineup, but I would certainly imagine he does. I don't know how, but it looks like we've got the Wolves lineup already. Unless someone's made this themselves, but it looks like this is going to be the Wolves lineup. Maybe they accidentally posted it early. It is Fabio Silva who we had on the Who's That Football game earlier. So it's Nori, Saiz, Cody, Bolly, Semedo, Neves, Dendonk, Moutinho, Fabio Silva and Adama. So this is the lineup to play Man United. Oh wow. So we've got a tweet here from Unit Football, who I believe is also a reliable source and leaker. And they've said, if you have Bamford, you're not going to be chuffed in a few minutes, to be honest. Bamford benched? Really? Pablo Hernandez. So Pablo Hernandez looks like he's going to start. But this is suggesting that Bamford might be benched. I nearly took a -4 for Bamford. I don't know if this is true or not, but it looks like there's no Bamford. I have made a couple of lists here, so this is where the lineups will start appearing imminently in less than a minute. Bamford benched. What an upset that will be. Lineups are coming in about 30 seconds. If anyone hasn't done this before, I recommend doing this. I wonder if I can make this public. If you go on my Twitter, everyone, I've made a list here, which is basically all of the Premier League teams' official Twitters. And then all I do when I want to see the lineups is I just open this list, because you just go to lists and then FPL. And then basically as the tweets come in, you'll see them here. Easy peasy. So yeah, any second now we'll start getting all those lineups. You guys ready? Is Bruno going to be in the starting 11 or not? Is Bamford going to be in the starting 11 or not? Visak says goodbye, see you in the next live. Oh, it's not worth it. It's only Bamford, Visak. Worse things have happened. Rack says, thank God I went Antonio over Bamford. Yeah, hopefully this is going to be a good game for Antonio. Really unfortunate for... Wow, so the Man United lineup is out. Are you guys ready for this? We'll start with Man United. Henderson, Bailly, Mata, Ahmad, James, Tellez, Matic, Williams, Van der Beek, Twanzebe, Elanga. No Bruno in the starting 11. No Bruno in the starting 11. McCarthy starts in goal for Southampton. No Forster. Kane and Son start for Spurs. No Bale in the starting 11. Bale is on the bench again. Doherty starts in right back. Sanchez and Alderweireld centre back. Burnley lineup, pretty much what you expected. Barnes is on the bench. Barnes got in trouble. I think he was caught drink driving or something. So he's been in a bit of trouble. Mitchell starts, 3.8. Wait, no Ben Mee. Oh wow, Dunn starts. The scout had Ben Mee, I think. They did. Look, the scout had Ben Mee in their team. No Ben Mee in the starting 11 for Burnley. Let's get back to the rest of these. So Mitchell starts, Zaha starts, Benteke not in the squad, Guaita's back in goal, Butland got some minutes last time round. Newcastle lineup, pretty much as expected. St. Maximan in there. Watkins starts. It looks like Conser's in right back again. Matty Cash obviously out with an injury. Grealish obviously starts, he's back from injury. The Man City lineup. Diaz starts, Jesus, Sterling, Foden, De Bruyne, Mahrez. Wow, this is a really strong 11. Wow. Fernandinho, Zinchenko, Stones, Diaz, Walker and Ederson. So I did wonder if we'd see a really strong City 11 because their Champions League game is in a week. So they've got basically time to rest up. Liverpool lineup. Alisson, Trent, Reece Williams and Phillips and centre-back again. So Kabak didn't make it back for the remainder of the season. Robbo, Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Thiago, and then the front three, Mane, Salah and Firmino. Jota makes the bench. Yeah, I missed it. Aguero is on the bench for Man City, so at least he's made the squad. I know he's been in and out with fitness problems. Fulham, I'm going to skip over Fulham. Sorry, Fulham fans. West Ham, Fabianski's back in goal, back from his injury. He missed the last lineup, the last squad. I think he got injured in the warm-up last game. Rice is obviously back. Cresswell and Soufal in wing back. Actually, it might be back four there. It looks like a back four. Benrahma on the bench. Fornals comes in. Bowen starts. Lingard, Antonio. Arsenal lineup. Smith Rowe starts. Tierney starts. Chambers in right back. Holden and Gabriel centre back. David Luiz not in the squad. So yeah, David Luiz's Arsenal career is over. That's it. No more games for David Luiz for Arsenal. He's gone. Pepe starts. Odegaard. Smith Rowe. What a budget option he's been this season. Jebison, the 17-year-old, starts for Sheffield. Good luck to him. Scored the other day. There's the Leicester lineup for Tottenham. Iheanacho and Vardy both start. Thomas starts. Castagna starts. Pereira will be on the bench. Fofana and Soyuncu start. Tielemans obviously starts. There's the Brighton lineup. No, Dunk's back. Sorry, Dunk's back for this last game of the season. Dan Burns starts. I think Veltman must still be out injured. So he made the bench. No Veltman. Gross, Moda, Jahan Baksh. There's the Wolves lineup as we saw it. Are there any others? Let me refresh for any others that came through. Hope Aguero comes on. Hopefully he gets something. I missed the Burnley. Was Nick Pope not in the squad again? Norris starts in goal again. It's not even Peacock Farrell. Peacock Farrell is on the bench. So Burnley's third choice, or maybe he's become second choice now. Norris starts in goal. So that is it. Oh no, we've got some more. Everton. Yeah, as expected, Coleman doesn't start. He's on the bench though. Calvert-Lewin starts. No James Rodriguez in the squad. Sigurdsson starts. Richarlison starts. Richarlison scored last game. It's going to be a tough game, that one, against Man City though. That game could have a lot of goals considering Man City's lineup. The Leeds lineup. Castilla starts in goal as expected. Berardi, I said he would probably start because it's his last game for Leeds. 4 mil option. Well, it's too late now. No one cares if he's 4 mil or an option. Berardi starts. Cooper's the other one. So Strike is on the bench. Rodrigo starts. No Bamford in the starting 11. Bamford on the bench. Didn't see that coming. What an upset. Phillips start. Harrison starts. I know there were some questions in chat about Harrison. Harrison does make the 11. There's the West Brom lineup. As expected, really. Diana. Is Diana not in the 11? Diana's on the bench. That's interesting. Didn't expect that. Chelsea 11. Mendy in goal. He obviously wasn't going to take any chances with Kepa with this must-win game. Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva, Rudiger starts, James. So it looks like Azpilicueta will be playing right centre back. Chilwell starts. That's another one who I said probably would. He'll be playing left wing back. Mount starts, Werner starts, Pulisic, Jorginho, Kovacic. Wow. Vidra benched. Adam says, Aguero, he has failed me to the very end. It's not over yet, Adam. There's still a chance. There's still a chance he goes out with a bang and gives you what you, to be honest, to be frank, deserve. You deserve a Aguero return. Adam, by the way, was one of the first ever viewers that I had on this channel. And here he is all the way to the end. Still talking about Aguero. Hopefully he comes off the bench and gets something for you. It really would be the fairy tale ending for Aguero. He's won the league with his last season for City. And it really would just wrap it all up if he came off the bench and scored. So I hope so, for your sake, Adam. Guys, we made it. That's it. Going to finish the stream now. As I say, I will be on the Discord throughout the games. It's going to be a very exciting couple of hours. And it's going to be crazy to keep up with all the goals. But as I say, that's why we've added this channel on our Discord, where all of these scores will be. This one here. So this is going to be on the Discord for today's game. And of course, we've got the live match channel. So guys, thank you so much for everyone that has tuned in to all the streams this season. I may do a post Gameweek 38 stream just to look back on the season and discuss things like the price changes and position changes for next season. Look at the team of the season players. Obviously, we'll look at the scout results and who filled that last Kings of the Gameweek slot. I just wanted to finish this stream by saying thank you to everyone that has tuned in throughout the season. Whether you've been an active user or lurking in the background for FPL info, it's all appreciated and it all helps. As I say, I only started this channel midway through the season as a lockdown hobby, and I didn't expect the reaction or growth that we've had. Obviously, we've hit over 400 subs now, even though I only started halfway through the season, and on the Discord, over 1,500 members. I've got loads planned for next season, lots more content. I'm going to do more videos, more live streams, got new ideas floating around. So there's going to be loads going on this channel on the Discord. And of course, before next season, if you're following the Euros, we'll be creating a Euros Fantasy League. So that's it. Gameweek 38. The season is almost over. The deadline streams are over. I look forward to seeing you all next season, or whenever the next stream is. But for now, guys, one final thank you from me, and I hope you all have a good Gameweek 38 and a good summer if I don't speak to you before then. Cheers, guys.